I think people genuinely want to do better. And lots of times for some, and maybe this is erroneous, but it tends that they want to start, they think the time element is almost like the first place to go. Am I using my time right?
If you look in the modern world, like, people can't even go to the bathroom without taking their phone with them. It's like, what's so important all of a sudden? They're constantly in a consumptive state.
It's not a question of speeding it up. It's almost, I think you just got to respect the time it takes.
So even as I started to think about that goal and that idea, I was still a carpenter, but my thoughts were changing. Hi, I'm Dave Conway, and I'm here with my wife, Jacqueline. Welcome to the 30-Day Year. On this podcast, we're sharing stories, ideas, and philosophies to show you what it takes to turn your annual income into your monthly income. I've learned that the first step to creating a 30-day year is entertaining new ideas that might at first appear strange or even laughable. But stick with us as we reveal that this idea is a very real way to build success. Our plan is to spark curiosity into what you're capable of achieving by exploring ideas around freedom, contribution, work, life, everything. The content may even disturb your perception of life a bit too, which we hope it does. This podcast is not about us, it's all about you. So sit back, relax, and come in with an open mind. Welcome to the 30-Day Year.
Let's get into time and productivity and patience, and let's get into these themes. I think that people are interested in this, and I think because genuinely people want to do a good job and they want to do more with their time. Like, we want to be more productive. We want to, I don't know if it's like get more done, be more useful. I don't know. I think there's like a real genuine desire in humans to learn how to use their time better. Because every time I've shared ideas around it, this is like going back a few years when I used to do more kind of business and brand-based content. Anytime I would bring up productivity, it would spark a lot of conversation. People just like wanted to talk about it because I think it's just
Time
and productivity.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they wanted to get better at it. They wanted to talk about it. They wanted to like hear how other people manage their time. Like, it was a real source of curiosity and a real source of just exploration, I think, for people too. So I think it's a good thing. I think it's just a sign that humans just want to learn and grow and do better. I think people genuinely want to do better. And lots of times for some, and maybe this is erroneous, but it tends that they want to start, they think the time element is almost like the first place to go. Like, am I using my time right? So is that the right place to start? Maybe, maybe not. Either way, I think it's something we should talk about today. So I just want to know, to start, like, what are your thoughts on time, like, just in a general way? Like, how do you feel about time, use of time? That's like such a weird question. I don't know.
Yeah, that's weird.
Okay.
Yeah, time is interesting because I don't know if we want to use our time. If we think about the word like, I want to use my time more effectively, I think what we're looking for is to be more effective. If we want to use our time to be more productive, I think what we're really looking for is productivity or efficiency. Mm-hmm. And that's how the universe operates. The universe wastes nothing. Everything is converted into some usable product for some other production. And we all have the same amount of time. So time is interesting because we all get the exact same amount of time, which is here and now. Time is just now. So as we start to grasp that, I think what we're really looking for is effectiveness. You know, no one knows what time is. I have a book by Carlo Rovelli. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm quite certain that's his name. And he is a physicist. And he's got a book on time. And it's called The Order of Time. And it's 13 chapters. And in each one of those chapters, he is just basically communicating different analogies and stories to try and illustrate what time is. So at the end of the book, he really just has to say, like, I don't know what it is. So here's 13 things. Now, when we think about time, a part of us lives in the third dimension. So length times width times height. So the physical world we live in. That is the third dimension. Not woo-woo, not crazy. It is what it is. It's the third dimension. The fourth dimension is time.
Mm-hmm.
And anything above the third dimension, the human mind cannot compute. It can't reason it. So when we talk about anything above the third dimension, the fourth dimension being time, we have to speak in stories, analogies, metaphors, and examples. So the truth is, none of the physicists know what time is. All we know is that there's the everlasting here and now. So I think what we're really experiencing is this surge to grow, this surge to be more effective, this urge or surge to be more productive.
Yeah, like I liked what you said, the universe wastes nothing. So, from my earlier example, people are interested in productivity and time. I think we're just intuitively picking up on that.
Yeah, I think we're actually programmed because the universe is like that and we're a part of the universe.
Right. Yeah, it's like this sensation like, oh, I should be using this time better.
When you showed me that we were going to be talking about time on this episode, I was like, okay, Dave, like, don't get weird, like, don't go too far out.
How can you do something that's so natural? Like, you're just like, you are weird. Like, it's just what it is. Like, don't hold that back.
We're all programmed to use our time in a certain way. We're all programmed. The paradigm controls our use of time. It controls our productivity. It controls our effectiveness. It controls our efficiency. It controls how much money we earn. We all have been given the exact same amount of time. Everybody has here and now. And if I was to go even deeper with time, which I'd like to, even though I said I wouldn't, I've been trying to restrain myself.
I would like to point out that my question did open up a can of worms, so I do think it was actually a good question, but continue.
Time to me is focus.
Okay, I wouldn't have pegged that. Why do you say that?
Because life is mental.
Mm-hmm.
So anything you're focusing on, that is time. Like right now, I'm looking at you.
Yeah,
you are now an all-consuming in my consciousness. So this is time.
Mm-hmm.
So time is focus.
Right. You can't focus without time.
No.
There is no focus without time.
There is no time without focus. They're one and the same thing. Focus is now.
Yeah.
You can't focus on yesterday and you can't focus tomorrow. You can't go back in time. So it's a universe, one verse, universe, right? We live in the universe. So a universe, one unfoldment. Mm-hmm. And whatever we are focusing on, the here and now, that is our life.
Yes, I like it.
So when I started to change my thinking, because thinking is not controlled by time. Thinking is free. See, the human body, if I'm to move.
Thinking is not controlled by time.
No, it's free of time. You can go into the past,
but
the future.
But when I think a thought, that's occupying time.
Well, you'd be spending your moment in that thought.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, continue.
Okay. So when we say, like, let's say I'm going to drive across the city and I pop that into Google Maps or whatever, and it's like 22 minutes. It's like, it doesn't actually talk like that, but it tells me, 22 minutes. So then you ask me, hey, Dave, when will you be here? I was like, well, should be there in 22 minutes. Mm-hmm. Time, when we're talking about like the clock, is saying how long it takes to move a physical object through time and space. So the physical object would be me and let's say my mode of transport, so my car. Mm-hmm. So it's like my car and I are going to go 22 minutes. If we want to speed that time up, all we need to do is put a little more gas or electricity in this world.
Like more heat.
Put more heat on it, and then we travel a little faster. Mm-hmm. So we can shorten time by heat.
With heat, yeah.
Yeah, with heat. Mm-hmm. So if you and I were to, so I have a lot of clients that are like, well, I want to get my goals really damn fast.
Right. See, this is interesting. Okay, so but applying more heat can ruin things too, right? Like yes. I like your example about like the chicken breast in the oven. So like, let's say you know what you're doing. You're a chef. You know how to make a nice chicken breast for dinner. You put it in the oven at, 375 or 350 for 25 minutes. And maybe you put a nice little crumble on there. You prepare a nice little mushroom sauce, maybe a little bit of sprig of rosemary just to set it off. I don't know. I'm getting hungry maybe. So let's say that's how you do it. But then let's say you're like the impatient chef and you're like, I want this thing done in 10 minutes. So you jack the heat to like 450 or 475 and you just kind of dry it out, like incinerate this thing. It's not as good.
No, like if you put a chicken in the oven at room temperature, you will never get an edible piece of chicken.
Right. It won't be anything.
Right. If you put it in at 375, you'll get it back in 25 and it might be perfect.
Right.
You put it in 1,000 degrees, you'll get it in 10 minutes. And
maybe
black. It's edible. Maybe.
It's not good though.
No, it's not good. And then if you put a laser on it, you could evaporate that thing.
So don't you think this is like a question of like respect? Like you got to like respect the time things take sometimes.
It's a question of law. Have you noticed that like nature's never in a rush?
No, it isn't. Well, it takes the time it needs.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Like a baby takes 40 weeks. A carrot takes like 7 weeks or something like that.
70 days or something.
70 days or whatever. But yeah, there's like for physical seeds, as you would say, there's a measurable amount of time it takes for that seed to be ready to, to do its thing, to be eaten or for a baby to be born or whatever. So it's not a question of speeding it up. It's almost, I think you just got to respect the time it takes.
Yeah, like I used to run an event called 5X Your Focus.
Yeah.
And I would ask the audience, who here believes that if they could, if their ability to concentrate, it went up 5 times, like you multiplied your ability to concentrate. So right now you can concentrate for 1 minute on a specific thought or task.
Right.
And you could move that to 5 minutes. Who here believes that that would improve their life? Every hand goes up.
Of course, it has to.
Intuitively, you know that.
Yeah.
So when we want our results to change, it has nothing to do with working harder. It's mental. So the physical, like to move an object through time, like according to our clock, that is saying that it takes this long from A to Z. You can play with that by putting more gas or less gas or whatever on there. So that's environmental. You can definitely play with that. But the same principles apply to thought. So when you concentrate on a specific idea, that idea, when you focus on something, that's something that you're focusing on, it expands. Like your awareness expands around that idea. So when I was a carpenter earning $5,000 a month, I used to work like out in the winter. I live in Canada and it gets damn cold where I live. And one of our problems that we had, and it was a big problem because we earned a living through carpentry. So I used to work outside. And one of the problems that we had is that in the winter, our tools would freeze. And the longer out in the cold that those tools were, the more they couldn't be used. So it was a big problem. So what do we have to do? Well, we built a box and we bought 2 sets of tools. So we would put the tools in this heated box, an insulated box in the winter, and be like down as cold as minus 25. We'd put these tools in there. They would heat up. We would take them out, use them for 20 minutes, because after 20 minutes of exposure to the elements, they would freeze again. So we'd put the other tools in. They'd heat up for 20 minutes. And we were always running like this. To put a gun in for 20, take it out and use it. Put the other gun in for 20, take it out and use it. And this is what I used my mind for. Because this was a problem. Because that's how I earned a living. So if I can't work, I can't get money. This was my thinking. So that's what I used my mind for. So as I focused on that, that is what I built. As I started to change, so you see, you are free in thought. As I started to change the things that I was thinking about, for example, taking my income from $5,000 a month to $100,000 a month, as I started to focus on that mentally, regardless of where my physical body was. So even as I started to think about that goal and that idea, I was still a carpenter, but my thoughts were changing. And what I found is that you think when you in the mental world, you are free. So thought has no time. There's no time and space in thought. You're free. The physical world, yes, the physical world is quite constrained.
Right. Let's get into time-based goal setting. This is something you always coach people on, where you set a goal and you have to attach a number to it, or a date to it, I should say. So we always suggest like a 12-month date. And a common question is, well, number one, why? Why do I have to set the time? And number two is, when do I change that date? So do you mind diving into that, explaining that?
why I recommend that you put dates on
Yeah,
goals.
yeah.
Yeah. So there's a few schools of thought around this. I've heard of a school of thought where you should never put a time limit on a goal. It's too stressful. And it's like, well, I don't really agree with that because why are you getting stressed? Like, that's a whole different topic. Now, the reason that we recommend that you put dates on goals is because you want to think of it like this. So it's a mental agreement. That's really what it is. It's an agreement. Now, we know the gestation period. So there's a law in this universe called the law of gestation or the law of gender. We know the gestation period for all physical seeds. You stated earlier that a baby is 40 weeks, carrots 70 days. Don't quote us on that. But because of this awareness, now we have genetically modified food. Monsanto knows all of these seed time limits. We know the gestation for every physical seed on this earth. We do not know the gestation period for non-physical seeds. And a non-physical seed could be categorized as a goal or a thought. Those are non-physical. We do know this, though. So we know very little, but we do know this, that everything operates by law. So where energy flows, expansion happens. So if you take an acorn and you put it in the ground, if it's in the right environment, that acorn has a vibration in it, and it will attract to that acorn the nutrients required to unfold it into an oak tree. And what starts to happen is as it gains more and more mass, it starts to grow, it starts to burst out. So it can't stay as an acorn as it acquires more mass. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it changes.
It changes. Same principles apply in thought. So as you focus on something, as you focus on it, you're on the vibration of it. You start to attract the nutrients, the mental nutrients or this awareness nutrients, whatever you want to call it, to that seed. So you're making an agreement. So a lot of people get stressed and be like, oh, I'm getting close to my goal. Like I've had clients call us up and they were like, yo, I'm like 2 weeks out for my goal and it hasn't happened yet. And I'm like stressed out.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's not great. But how long have you been feeling like this? So they're not conditioning the mind that they already have it. And I was like, look, call me at midnight on the day, call me at midnight when that time that you said is there, and don't stop working towards it until that moment. You're making a mental agreement and a committed how you're going to use your time towards that. I've never had anyone ever call me ever bitching that their goal came too soon. Dave, I set a goal for 12 months and I got it in 4 months. Like, I want my money back.
Right.
Never ever had anybody complain that they got what they wanted too fast.
So do you think it's really just the desire piece that speeds it up for people?
It's
like
a
the
focus.
Heat?
It's a focus. Yes,
heat
it's
and
focus. So
yeah.
you're saying, I'm going to focus on you. Now, when I first set the goal, my first 30-day year goal, I made that agreement and I put that agreement at 12 month. After 12 month, I began to see changes. I never hit the goal. I never hit the 100 grand month. But I was seeing changes to my income. I was seeing changes in my person, changes to my environment. So if I was like a seed, I don't know, maybe I sprouted a little bit through the ground in my first year. So then I recommitted to it. I said, okay, I see some changes. I'm working hard. I'm diligent. I'm letting this idea consume my mental real estate. And then I recommitted for 12 months. Again, 12 months passed, began to see more changes, but I never achieved the goal.
Yeah.
It was 7 months in to my third year that it happened. So 31 months in is what the gestation period was for the universe to refine me enough that I actually became a conduit for that idea.
Yeah.
And it never went back.
Yes. It was like a permanent change,
Yeah.
repeatable, every month the same.
That's right.
See, that's where I come back to that idea of just like respecting the process.
Yes.
I don't believe you could have done it any faster. I really don't. I really think you did as much as you could in that time. Do you feel you could have done more? Do you think you could have collapsed time?
I probably could have collapsed time, but you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly. Yeah, like if you don't have the awareness, like, of course, if it's this version of you now, it would have been different. But like, you just were where you were. You are what you are. Like, it just is what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it
is what it is.
It just takes as long as it takes. Because, like, I have this question on my paper, like, why do things take so damn long, Dave? Because I feel like there's a certain, like, breed of our clients that they're just so ambitious. They just want it now. Like, they're hungry. And I respect that. I like the hunger. But they just want it now.
Yeah. Show me an ambitious person and I'll show you an impatient person.
Exactly.
Or operate with urgency. I one time heard a quote that said, "How do you develop patience?"
Yeah.
Do you know how to develop patience?
No, tell me. Well,
By waiting.
by waiting. Yeah.
Brutal.
Learning how to wait. That's the
Yeah.
skill. Learning how to wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we try and I think we get in there. I think we make ourselves sick. We're messing about too much sometimes, but we do have the right to do that. I think we should be exploring and playing because obviously we have been able to produce many things in a shorter and faster, more effective way. I think we're programmed for that. But you'll find that I've personally found that as long as I'm concentrating on it, it's like the marvelous Earl Nightingale said, you know, you are now and you will become what you think about. And what is he saying there? He's saying that, well, your life today is the culmination of the thoughts that you have permitted into your mind in the past. And if you want tomorrow to be different, then you just have to shift or change the thoughts that are presently in your consciousness. Could it be that simple? I'm here to tell you from experience, yes, but you'll have to find out for yourself.
Yeah, like shifting the thoughts you're thinking about. If you're to just use simple language,
That's
you just
right.
have to shift what you're thinking about. So you're saying like goal achievement speeds up with focus. I know I've heard you say desire as well. I like the idea of focus though. It just because there's just so much into it. It's letting go. It's refining you. It's learning how to concentrate. Learning how to say no sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes we can just be yes, yes, yes and fill our schedules and not necessarily be working toward the goal. It's like redefining what's goal achieving activities and what's just work.
I think people's lives would improve significantly if they just took a little bit of time every day out of their busy lives to just think a bit.
Yeah.
Like 15 minutes, just think a bit.
You know what I have to do sometimes, actually, like a more tactical thing, but it's mental, is sometimes I just have to open up like a blank sheet of paper, get off my computer, get off my like project management tools, my Slack chat and all that stuff. And I just need to like think about like what's happening right now, what's important right now. And I just need to like write it out to like reorient my priorities. And because sometimes I find I can be getting pulled to a project that's maybe like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 weeks out when there's actually one that's coming up 1 or 2 weeks. And then it's like, well, I need to reorient myself and make sure the one that's in 1 or 2 weeks gets the attention it needs. And then the other one, we'll just have to wait until this one is complete. And then I can come back to it. And then there's even making the time for the bigger strategic decisions. Like if you're thinking years out, I find the best way to do that is to actually just set aside like a full day or 2. 2 days is probably the best to sit down and ignore everything else and just think about the long-term planning.
Exactly. Time is focus. So if you're not careful, as Heinlein said, you'll become strangely loyal without clearly defined goals. We become strangely loyal to daily trivia
Yes, I can
until
feel.
ultimately we become enslaved by them.
Yes.
So now we're not really controlling. The environment has gotten in, and now we're just moving through life because of duty. And your mind is always at a place before the body. So the body doesn't move until an idea has been accepted. So you and I could say, hey, let's go for lunch next Wednesday at, I don't know, Earl's. And if we both accept that, we're going to be there. So you have to watch what ideas you accept. It's like if there's negative ideas, like this is the truth. If you let a negative idea slip into your mind, it's way more damaging than having a sharp knife slip through your hand. Like it is very damaging when you start to accept negative ideas, when you have nothing to govern your thinking about. So what are people focusing on? If you look in the modern world, like people can't even go to the bathroom without taking their phone with them. It's like, what's so important all of a sudden? They're constantly in a consumptive state.
Yeah, it's the use of time and focus are very much intertwined, and it's just keeping the mind anchored on goal achieving activities. Really.
Yeah, focus.
Can I read something? I think you'll appreciate this. So there's an essay we typically bust out.
Bust out your Bible, Sister Conway.
Bust out my green book.
Mother Superior. That's Amelia.
Yeah, Mother Amelia, I think.
Yeah,
right?
Mother. I call her Mother Amelia.
Yeah. I really like this statement. It's from the essay Yourself by Thomas Troward. He says, "It is not the essence of life which has to grow, for that is eternally perfect in itself, but it is our recognition of it that has to grow, and this growth cannot be forced. It must come by a natural process, the first necessity of which is to abstain from all straining after being something which at the present time we cannot naturally be. The law of our evolution has put us in possession of certain powers and opportunities, and our further development depends on our doing just what these powers and opportunities make it possible for us to do here and now." And so this feels very relevant to me for this conversation, especially the part, it must come by a natural process, the first necessity of which is to abstain from straining after being something at which the present time we cannot naturally be. So for all the ambitious ones that just can't wait, it's like you just can't force the growth. You have to be natural with yourself and don't buy into straining and struggle. You just can't be there yet. It'll just take the time it takes. So long as you're committed and you focus, you just have to have faith it's going to come, because it will. It's just, are you willing to persist? It took like what? Not Einstein, the electricity guy.
Ricky.
Edison, thank you. It took Edison like
I'm pretty sure it was Ricky, but
he was closing in on like 10,000 tries to get a light bulb to work. Like that's insane. Like how many? Like thank God he did. Imagine if we didn't have light bulbs. Like what an incredible invention.
I guess that's a testimony for, or a thought-provoking idea that, you know, what else are you not aware of that could significantly improve the quality of your life?
Yeah. So, I don't know, time collapser. Do you have any final thoughts on time?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Okay, keep it grounded for us, because sometimes you go off and I don't know where I'm going.
Well,
you take me off to space and I'm like, 4th dimension, 5th dimension, where am I?
We're in the 9th dimension right
Okay.
now.
Okay. All right, wrap it
the
up.
4th dimension being time.
Okay.
I'm going to stick with that time is focus. So start to pay a little extra attention to your thinking. I've personally found that just the ritual of taking 15 minutes out of my day, don't even have to be rigid about when it is, right? Taking about 50 minutes out of my day to study a little bit, get my mind stimulated, and start to think a little bit. And am I working on the right thing? And I found that even asking that question after a few days and sometimes like a few weeks of asking that question, the right thing opens up. Because we do want to be effective, and we want results. We do want results. So I think Earl Nightingale is bang on when he said, "You are now, and you will become what you think about." So if you're dissatisfied with the current place in life, and you're become curious that maybe there's more, and that's what would happen to me, and if you'd like tomorrow to be different, all you need to do is start to build images and think thoughts that have a better tomorrow. And you keep doing your work, you keep going to work, you keep doing what you're doing, stop fighting against your existing reality, just start to let your mind wander out to a new place. It's changed my life. It has changed countless people that I have shared these ideas with, because they were shared with me as well. And the sources that I've received these ideas, these people genuinely had pretty robust lives, not just financially, but mentally, spiritually, relationships. Let your mind break a little free. Open your mind. Take 50 minutes every day just to open the mind up a little bit. Think a little bit. It's very rare.
And then see what happens to your time management.
See what happens.
How does that affect it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey there, if you enjoyed today's podcast, leave a review, hit subscribe, share with a friend, and have a fantastic day.
Produced at
Sound Lounge by T-Bone.